involved in it, okay? This is what ministry is all about, okay? It's taking what you have gone through and using it to glorify God. That's what a ministry is, okay? So his wife Sheila is over there as well, and I'm not sure if she's going to be talking today, but can we give a warm welcome to James Lovekamp?
Hey.
Pastor Fred is right. I do work for a local company. He actually used to work for him. I primarily deal with the maintenance, just making sure we can operate. That's really all I do. First, I wanted to clarify something because he had it wrong. It's not my ministry.
I'm sorry.
This is a ministry that was given to my wife through some stuff that she saw that was going on, and for His glory. It's really for Him, but it was her vision. And honestly, as I go through this and I share some stuff with you guys, you'll realize that it was quite confusing to me where all of this was coming from. Me and my wife met in 2001. We got married in 2002. Between us, we were a mixed family. She had 3 boys before we got married. I had a daughter. 3 of the boys are with us today, along with one of their friends. This testimony, and this is something that we don't hide from anybody, all the way down to our kids. So it's something that's near and dear to us, and it's something that we hope in some aspect can reach out to other people, that can show people that there are hope in what they do with their relationships, within their marriages, and even within relationships just in general with other people. But what we're reaching out for is primarily the marriage portion of it, the relational portion of it, to help people thrive in their marriage, to build their marriages, to realize that you can't do it by yourself. You've got to have people that you can reach out to that will speak life into you, that at the same time they're going to speak good word to you. They're not going to lead you astray for whether it's their own personal gain or for somebody else's personal gain. Before we begin, I got a question, and I don't want anybody to raise their hands because it could be quite embarrassing. But I got a couple questions, and I just want you guys to think, how many of you have ever dealt with these specific things in your life, in your relationship, or in your marriage? The loss of a parent, a child, or a sibling, financial failures, a failed business, bankruptcy, foreclosure on your home, relationship failures, maybe an affair, a divorce, addictions, pornography, alcohol, life-threatening illnesses and surgeries, or depression and isolation. That's a long list. It really is. But in 16 years, that long list is something that me and my wife have dealt with every single one of those items. Not a single one, not a couple of them, all of them. We've dealt with the loss of people. We've dealt with addictions. We've dealt with financial issues. But it's something that through each and every one has allowed us to come together and grow. It's allowed us to, our marriage has gotten stronger. It's allowed us to build what we're trying to build now. So I say it's a little recap. I typed up a lot of notes. I'm probably going to miss a lot of them. But I want to just kind of give you guys a brief run through of our last 15 or 16 years together. So, as I said earlier, we met in 2001. We got married in 2002. And it wasn't long after we got married that I was already cheating on my wife. I was running around, meeting people on the internet. I was having an affair. I was in the service at the time, so alcohol was a prolific part of my life. And when I did have a drink of alcohol, I got mean, I got ugly. And it took my wife finally really sitting me down one day and just telling me that it was either her or the alcohol, one of the two. And I had to make that decision. I'm sure you can tell which decision I made. She's still here today. It wasn't easy. To this day, it's something that I'm not going to say it's something I want, but I still have to be very cautious when I get around people that are drinking. If I go to a company party, I've got to be very mindful of what's around, who's around, what I'm drinking, what I'm not drinking, because it's not a road that I ever want to put myself down again or put her down. Along with the cheating, she lost her father 4 months after we got married. He was killed in a car accident. I never got to meet him, hear a lot of good things about him. So we'll go with that one. During that time, my wife got pregnant, not once, but twice. Miscarried both times. We kind of took that as a sign we weren't supposed to have kids of our own. So we had our 4. It wasn't long after that, we inherited 2 more. I don't know, we just ever grow for some reason. It seems kids are always coming in and out of our life. Other people are coming in and out of our life. And my wife really kind of absorbed that. She really, as much as I'm sure it devastated her that she couldn't have kids or more kids, it was kind of amazing to see the way that kids would come into our life, whether it's neighbor kids that she was simply feeding breakfast to before they went to school, or whether it was kids that needed a place to stay for a couple months. And they always got treated the same. It didn't matter who they were. They were kids. They were her kids. Wasn't long after that I got out of the service. Due to some other reasons, we thought that we were trying to move ourselves ahead financially. At the time we thought, well, for financial reasons, we actually got a divorce in 2004, I think. It wasn't the right decision. We weren't saved at the time, but God already had us on His radar. And the financial failures, or the divorce, all it did was cause bigger problems. It allowed me to not try to hide so much that I was cheating on my wife. And along with that, it didn't really help us financially. We thought that we were smart enough to figure it out. It actually probably hurt us more than anything. So we decided that at some point the divorce was good, but it wasn't. It was a bad idea. Like I said, it allowed me to kind of be a little bit more relaxed with my cheating on my wife. And actually, at one point in 2003, I actually abandoned my wife, abandoned my family, and moved halfway across the U.S. with another woman. Took my daughter with me. So not only did I leave my family, I split my family. Realized pretty quick after that it wasn't a very smart move. Got back in contact with Sheila. Me and her kind of started talking and ended up getting to come back home. But of course there were terms that come along with it. I wasn't going to get to move right back in and go back to the good old days. So I did not know at the time that while I was gone, Sheila had began attending church at a local church. I can't tell you the story how she got there. She tells it a lot better than I do. But basically, she was driving through town one day and something said to pull in. she pulled in. That's pretty much it. That's about all I know about that story. But anyway, so she had started attending church. I moved back home. Shortly after that, of course, it was part of the agreement was I had to move back home with her, or I had to go to church with her. I grew up in church. 16 years of church every Sunday, Sunday school, all of the Christmas pageants and the Christmas shows, the Easter shows. It was something that was, it was relevant in our life, but I never really paid attention, I guess you could say. I knew the Bible. I could recite verses. I knew the good, I knew the bad, I knew the 10 Commandments, but I never really absorbed that and really allowed it to speak into my life. And it did nothing for a long time but create problems. It really did. Wasn't long after that, after I come home, that second loss in Sheila's life, her brother was killed in a motorcycle accident. But she didn't react the same.